opened in 1997, 47 miles east of Los Angeles, California, sits the Auto Club Speedway, home to NASCAR since its inception in 1997, and home today to the RealSimRacing IROC Series presented by IRAPS, round 5 of 6, the penultimate race of our 6-race championship season. As we can see, we've got some qualifying going on right now, and really excited to bring you the action as we've got a full field of cars for today's event. And you might hear a little bit of a different voice today. We'll have a few different voices. Hello, hi. We're doing a drivers only broadcast today, so we're we do the podcast long enough, and we get enough pull, we could kind of pretty much do whatever we want. So Matt brought the idea up, and here we are today. So from the Mara Motorsports Studios just outside of Chicago, Illinois, I am Nick Mara. We've got Matt Danson, 2020 Winter Series champion and 3-time RSR Cup Series winner this year. We've got Matt Mara from the upstairs of the Mara Motorsports Studio. A pleasure to have both of you on. This is going to be a really fun day for us. We've got a couple special guests as well, familiar faces that we're very excited to have on the broadcast. They'll actually be in the race today because, instead of having some mediocrity in the middle of the field with Mara Motorsports, we've taken that to the broadcaster side, and they will be running the midfield for us, and we'll talk to them in just a bit. So I guess, first, let's get to it. Matt Danson. We're going to refer to him as Danson because, of course, there's two Matts on this broadcast. Walk us through what you're expecting tonight.
Well, I'm thrilled to watch this championship battle unfold. We've got Dylan Coyle is going to try and take the lead by default. Obviously his nearest competitor, Nick Silva, scared, I guess, to be commentated by the greatest commentating trio known to man, basically. So for some reason he's scooted out of that. But Dylan, he's only 28 points shy, so we might see him pull something out of the hat again, like he did with his win last time out.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment when we take a look at the standings. And yeah, I thought here we thought we were going to potentially be calling a championship call tonight in today's race, and that won't be happening. We'll get to that in just a moment. Matt, you've raced in every race with this series so far this year. Top 10 in points currently. What are your thoughts on the car, and what should we expect tonight in tonight's race?
Yeah, first off, I think part of the reason that Evan let us do this tonight is because I am beating him in the IROC standings right now, and he knew this would be an opportunity to gain a position because he's had a somewhat of a poor struggle this year with the IRAPS winters, or the winter IRAPS. Or the IROC series, if I can just talk correctly. We had a lot going on today. You see I'm upstairs today. We've had some technical rush to get me up here. I'm a little scattered, but I think we're going to have a great race today. The cars are slick. The cars have, in the first 4 races this year, it's been hard to pass. It's been a lot of throttle time, and so I'm looking forward to a looser setup today. Hopefully it'll bring some exciting racing.
Well, that's what we were hearing from our in-race commentators in practice today. It seemed like it could be a bit of a rough one. I think I don't know if we've got Dylan there, but
you do.
Oh, Dylan, there he is. Wow, we're blessed with.
You always have me.
Second in the championship points, Dylan. I think we'll be looking at the point standings in a moment. How is qualifying going right now?
Well, currently sitting in second. I think that's because I got out on the track early enough to where everyone was going out. Got a good draft, and really ever since then, that's where I've been. So I'm sure, the reasoning that I went out early, Matt Danson, was because, I'm just smart with all my in-car commentators stuff.
Yes. Without a doubt. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting some of your insights. Hopefully I can learn a few things. I know that when I, watch back during whether it's a, Winter Series race or even if I watch into the IROC broadcast, I always learn at least one thing, usually what not to do. But so I'm hoping to get those sorts of crazy insights tonight. What are you finding so far?
Well, as the defending race winner in this series, I am finding that this car wants to turn to the right or wants to turn to the left the entire time into turn 1 on cold tires. So I kind of want to cry every time I go into turn 1 in qualifying for the first time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely don't want to be turning right. Obviously, with it not being a road course, that's
Ka-chow,
suboptimal. But yeah, Nick, we'll go back to you. You got some things to sort out here.
Yeah, well, let's talk, I guess, first a little bit to the point standings. There it is. Dylan, second, 28 points back. So important to note, in the IROC series, a win is 34 points. You can get up to 5 points for leading the most laps. So that'll be a total of 39. So if Dylan leads a couple laps, has a strong day, takes advantage of that hopeful good starting position, today could be a really good day for him. And there is Evan down in 9th. Matt in 8th. I don't know if you can hold on to that top 10 spot. For Matt, what are your thoughts on keeping that top 10 spot, even though you're not racing today?
I think, we got a pretty good field today, so I'm probably going to fall out of the top 10, which is okay. This opportunity is excellent. Excited to be a part of this. Nick Silver not racing today because he's on vacation, and I did talk to him before the race. I did, emphasize that he should be able to do things like go on vacation. He's built himself a lead so he can go on vacation. Maybe he's treating himself out this weekend with that big lead. Dylan and Dominic, I'm sure, are going to make him attempt to pay for taking a week off, though, this week.
Where do we know where Nick Silver went on vacation? That is an important question.
I did not ask, but maybe we'll uncover that on tomorrow night's episode of After the Turns. You can check us out at aftertheturns.com, Tuesday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern.
That was a little too early for the ad read, but very greatly appreciated. Now, qualifying, I believe, is just finishing up. So, Danton, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. This IROC qualifying is a little different than our normal qualifying. I don't even know if we're going to have time to do that, though, because I think it's almost time for the starting grid here.
We got the... Yep, we got them on the grid. So we'll run through the starting lineup and get ourselves racked up. So we got
the IRAP starting grid.
Sam Nieto. Yeah, Sam Nieto on pole. He's done that a few times actually in the Cup Series this year. So good to see him keeping that trend. Dylan with a surprising P2. Good to see. Ross Cato.
Thanks.
P3. You love to see that as well. Brandon 6 in P4. That's he needs to drop back 2 positions there. Brandon Bowie in P5 and Trey Browning in P6.
Yeah, you see a couple of the keeping it real cars there at the bottom half of the top 5 there. Joseph Tyson starting 7th, Liam Sheen starting in 8th. Our man Evan Pasoko starting in 9th place. Manatzi Major starting 10th. Dominic Howe third in points starting 11th today. And Seth the Merchant starting 12th.
Riding out the field, Chris Rabel for Keeping It Real Esports. William Schmidt 14th. Tom Moreno, Sean Casto, and Matt, there you are in last. I guess you're still going to get some points there. Really good for you. IRAPS starting grid. IRAPS produces high-quality custom and virtual wraps for iRacing vehicles of all kinds. We want you to look good going fast, and you know what does look really good are those brightly colored cars for today's race. Except for yours, Dylan. Really like that. What is that? Metallic silver?
Yeah, metallic purple, silver eye. Okay. As long as it's not Nick Silver. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Ooh, I think that might be, that might be some mind games. That might be some mind games wherever he's on vacation.
Psychological advantage.
There we go. Well, it's time, guys. Right. 50 laps around the Auto Club Speedway. The virtual pace car into the pits. Sam Nieto and Dylan Coyle lead the field to the green flag. Round 5 of the IROC series presented by IRAPS is underway.
Awful jump.
Really, yeah, Dylan, not a good. Those cars are very hard to get going. Great start for Sam Nieto down into turn 1 with Ross Cato in second. Brandon Bowie coming on the outside to make a move. Sam drifts a little high and off turn 2 down the back straightaway. We're gonna maybe go 3 wide for that lead.
I think we saw him go through turn 1 and 2 safely. I think after what Dylan had told us, we're surprised. No cars got loose. They're taking it easy. Continue to watch them on the low tire pressure here.
Yeah, just wait around this time. Could be a little different, though.
Well, first lap in the book. Sam Nieto with quite a lead. And Danton, you know Sam pretty well. How much practice did he put in to have this kind of start?
He puts an excessive amount of practice into everything. He's already, been blowing up my phone, messaging me about Watkins Glen, which, it's still, 3 weeks away. So Yeah, no doubt he would have put a lot in. He always believes he's got the fastest car, despite everyone having the same car. So I know he's going to be confident in his equipment. You know, not surprised to see Dylan half asleep on the start. He was doing a lot of talking. He needed to focus, but hopefully now he can get, you know, sort of into a bit of a rhythm and move forward. We've got to still starting to straighten up out the front here, a bit of single file action.
Yeah, well, interesting. If we can get past these first couple of laps without a caution, how long can we go green as we see Ross Cato going to the outside of Brandon Bowie? That's an impressive move.
And
to get on the outside.
Yeah, Seth DeMerchant back there came from 12th on the start. He's up to 6th, and he's been doing it all right there up against the wall in 1 and 2, all 3 laps.
He's another driver out of the Altus Esports, Logitech G Altus Esports stable, a team of professionals and superstars,
and soon to be professionals. I guess we'll get to that later. Is there some sort of announcement in there for my entry? So I'll be there.
Absolutely
shortly.
not.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I heard there. So here we go down into turn 1. Sam Nieto still leading. We've got Brandon Bowie and Ross Cato. I think Ross is going to make that outside work, which is very impressive on the short run here. I would be curious to see what that is going to do to the tires as we go into the run. But what a move! And you know, Matt, we see Brandon Bowie in 3rd. We've got a lot of Keeping It Real esports cars, and I think you know why we've got more than usual today.
Yeah, so I think the team is obviously looking for that IROC championship here, and Nick Silver running for Keeping It Real, unable to make the race this week, so they are making extra charge. We'll think it's for the drivers only broadcast here, but also for making sure they get as many points as possible away from the others contending for the championship.
Yeah, and we saw a shot of Evan back there working hard. I think that's probably the hardest he's worked all year in any of these broadcasts.
And one car got loose there. Browning there. Caught it. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. You see they stack up behind him. I think that's the first car I've seen break loose. I don't know if they're taking it easy trying to feel out the car here, but you do see Evan making it 3 wide here.
Evan has to feel the pressure there. He's got a nose in his left rear there pretty much all race long by looks of things. It's an old COT nose, so that's going to be unsettling.
There you go.
Making him a bit loose.
And look at those yellow gloves. Look at those yellow gloves. You know, really working.
That's
you can see what he's working.
There.
Yeah. Really working hard. So if he makes any moves to the right, we're going to be able to see it. So hopefully we'll get a chance. If we drifts up just a little bit, you see Dominic Howe back there. Dominic Howe, 3rd in the standings right now. This is a big day for him as well.
Well, I just got slide jobbed.
Dylan, you're hanging in there right now.
He's still running 6th. Yeah, he's running 6th. I think I'm kind of surprised that the inside line's working at all. Typically, especially with a really loose car here, I think we see one got really loose there in the bottom. Evan got loose, and then behind him, I think there's an accident. We got a car around off 4.
Oh, caution.
Oh, caution's out.
Trey Browning, it looks like.
It's good to see Dominic Howe back out there. I know he was rushed to the infield care centre after Loudon, so good to see him back, bouncing back from a difficult race there. Let's have a look at what that caution was.
Let's look what happened here. So it looks like, just got loose.
I haven't lost it, and then, yeah.
It's so easy to do in these cars. Their odds, you could see they are on the edge of control every corner, really. I didn't enjoy driving these cars. No, I did not enjoy driving these cars. So one bit. So I'm much happier being behind a mic, I'll tell you that. Dylan, how was that first run? You looked like you hung in there pretty well. How was the car driving?
I'll tell you what, Seth is the most aggressive driver, even more than Daniel Eberhardt, that I have seen in RealSimRacing so far. My word. Got to be careful right there.
Wow, beef.
He's anxious. He's not running for points, and he was fast. So no surprise there on the high side, really making it work.
Oh, and he's going into the pits.
Interesting. Yeah. I was going to ask. So they've got, I believe it's 2 sets of tires and 1 reset. So luckily,
2 extra sets.
2 extra sets. Okay, 2 extra sets. Trey does not have to use his reset, which is good to know. But interesting strategy. Now, Dylan, were you seeing some tire fall off where this move makes sense for the back half of the field?
That was a very timid start for everyone. For the back half of the field, I mean, I would say that the first few laps, because of just how abrasive this surface is here, the tires are just going to fall off very quickly. And even though we weren't pushing it as hard as we may have been pushing it in qualifying, it's still going to come off very quickly. And you know what? It's not a bad gamble. I don't want to go into the pits yet. It's only lap 7. We'll restart on lap 10, and he'll have to make 2 sets of tires last the entire rest of the race, the next 40 laps. And if there's a caution late in the race with maybe like 8 to go, 10 to go, wouldn't be shocked to see some gamble and go on fresh sets of tires and just try to run their way up through the field.
So
Dylan,
Danson,
sorry, I want to know, Danson.
Sorry, Nick. I apologize. I need to get to Dylan while I can.
Danson.
So for obviously we don't know exactly what Merch did in his stop, and we had a few other guys coming behind him, William Schmidt, obviously, and Browning, who spun. But for Seth, what would your advice be? I know you're a big fan of taking left sides only on stuff. So would you suggest that he do that?
I would suggest he goes with. I suggest he gets a faster pair right now.
Yep. Just make damage, create damage to use it.
I'll help. And no, I'm kidding. I will not. Listen, he can be as aggressive as he wants to. It is his prerogative. It's just not something I want to get involved in, especially with where the standings are right now.
Well, you're racing for a championship. He's got nothing to lose. So
that is so weird to hear.
So
yeah.
I'm racing for a championship. Okay.
Have you let your competitors know of the gravity of this race so they can, afford you a bit of extra room?
I don't know if that's a smart idea. I just need to focus on this start, guys. I was awful.
Yeah.
I started from first gear thinking that the tire spin wouldn't be that bad. Well, I guess we learned I am dumb.
You only get it on the IROC broadcast. You could say some people may have known that beforehand, but I could tell you that we could, because we care. That it's especially on restarts on old tires with these cars. I don't know. In your experience, Matt, these things will shoot to the right very quickly. Yeah. So definitely something to watch out for as we get to the start here. And I also noticed that Sam took the outside as we come to this restart.
Smart.
Okay. So
yeah, I think it's very hard to pass on the inside, especially after a couple laps. I'm really anxious to see Seth make some moves on the high side here, especially with some old tires in front of him.
We're gonna find out right now as the virtual pace car comes to pit road. Sam leads the field to green flag. A nice start. Dylan with a better start this time, and the field spreads out a little bit more than they did last time. But the battle's for second as we go into turn 1 between Ross Cato and Joseph Thies.
Yeah, I think Liam Sheen actually did go. You saw the car, a little bit of wheel spin, move towards the wall there on the restart, but everyone held it together, and I think they'll bunch back up a little bit as they come off too.
And Danton, what do you expect the fresh tires to come through quickly right now on this restart?
I'm glad you asked that, because I just ran out of the booth down into the sort of the pit bay area and just had a quick word to some of the teams. I've got it on good authority, actually, that DeMerchant did not take tyres. In fact, he has just gassed it up. Strategy play. We'll see how it works out. We've got the 34 looking on the inside, not going to have a stab.
But who is Ross Cato to the inside, who's leaving just about a half lane on the inside, side by side. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to carry that run off of turn 2, but he's got some help from Brandon Bowie down on the inside, side by side for the lead. Some good racing here, guys.
This is fantastic, side by side.
Yeah. Into turn 3 we go, and it's just going to be so hard for Ross to complete that pass.
You see him, he's getting a little loose there.
Yeah, he's right on the edge.
You can tell that's eating up the tires too, so we'll see how that impacts him as he continues to run the low line there. You got the in-car there on the bottom right of Ross. Really good run for him, and he's been good in the IROC series, so no surprise.
Yeah, he's a man of just pure focus. Look at that. There's nothing that's going to shake that focus.
No.
He looks to the inside once again.
Look at that wheel movement, too, especially going into the turn. I don't think the wheel has turned this much for the IROC cars in the first 4 races combined. Very difficult to drive here at Auto Club.
And it's still a bit of a struggle to make that inside line work. Sam don't think he needs to throw a block if he doesn't want to. Ooh, you see Ross get really loose there. loses about a car length. He's got to have a car on the outside. I feel like he might start to go a little backwards now, but Sam helping with the draft, picking him up right there. So, and look at him on the straightaway. You can see Sam still, it's not easy even driving these cars straight right now.
Yeah, I think you see Ross getting a little bit of, you see him getting a little bit of draft near the end. You really see him start to make some time up. But the draft is not very strong in these cars either. It just speaks to how long these straightaways are. You can really see like Joseph Tice here go ahead and make the pass for second.
What we are seeing is Liam Sheen is on a bit of a march at the moment. He's coming up through there. He's the yellow car on the outside. He's going to make a play for P3 on the outside here as they go side by side down the back stretch, or front stretch, I should say.
Solid side by side. There's been a lot of it, so.
This racing's fantastic. Yeah, it looks like a restrictor plate almost, and they're not. But
I'll tell you, Ross is on the edge. I don't think he wants to be on the inside, if I'm being truthful, but he can't get up there, and it's costing him. As now we see Brandon Bowie go to the outside, and it could start to kind of turn into a freight train for him, like you said, Matt, like Daytona or Talladega. As Joseph Thies goes to the inside, Liam's
is
not
loose.
Yeah,
Ross is loose. They're so loose.
They're loose, boys.
This racing is incredible. We've got 10 under a blanket here, 11 within 0.8 of a second here for the lead. Just absolutely fantastic racing.
You see that? You saw a little bit of a bump draft there from Bowie to Sheen. These cars, if there's one thing they don't do, is hook up well together at all. And you see in the back,
Evan!
Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, it's Dylan. Dylan's around. Moontossing Major.
I'm blaming Evan.
Oh, we'll have to go back and look at the replay, but Dylan, luckily there's a reset. Ooh, that was
this is going to have championship implications.
Yeah.
Playoff implications this for sure. Early. If they're going to race like this early, just wait till we get closer to the end, because that was nuts.
I guess this is where Evan. From Dylan's point of view, you got to sort of ask yourself, is it worthwhile being up there? I mean, he's got himself right in the pack. He's got to think about the championship. He said it himself. There's guys racing a bit hard. Maybe he's got to play it a bit smarter. We'll see how the rest of the race pans out.
Let's see. Ooh.
I mean, he's just driven up in the wall.
Okay, listen. Evan was drifting up in front of me. And
that's what Danson said. He said you got driven into the wall, I believe.
No, Dylan's just taken. He just said, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm driving into the wall.
Championship was just too much pressure.
See, I don't know. I would
move up a little bit, and the second you turn that wheel maybe a little right or even a little less left, you're into the wall, and it's already over.
Racing incident.
Yeah,
racing.
Could have been the air. I don't think the air. Maybe took away some air off the nose.
We had a car stay out. It was Evan. He almost causes the caution. He stays out on the pit stop. Wow.
I think he's getting a bonus point here. That's why, because he's going to be. I think he's going to be in last. If he had any damage, maybe he's going to fix it. But I might be wrong. Maybe we can bring him in here.
I can't wait for you guys to bring Evan in here.
Yeah. Somebody bring Evan in. We got to get his perspective on what happened.
Somebody bring Evan in. This is just payback for Michigan.
As we see the virtual pit stops happening, love the intensity of those pit crews as they jack up the left side and the right side.
I've got, again, some insider info. Obviously, the pit stops themselves can take quite a while, and we see who's the first car off pit road.
Was that Seth?
None other than your pitter from the previous caution. So that strategy is sort of coming to bear fruit. Oh, almost some contact off the exit there.
Now, did Seth do you know if he took tires on this pit stop and just a little bit of fuel?
Again, I would have to sprint down to the pit area to know that for certain.
If you could put your running shoes on from Australia to Auto Club Speedway, please, and head back as quickly as you can.
I'm just going to jump out of the booth now. You guys hold down the fort. I'll be right back.
I'll be honest, though, guys. I'm definitely going to keep it a little bit calmer than I was, because that was just way too action intense, and honestly, I was just thinking, I want to be up front, because it's championship's a championship, a win's a win.
That's true. We got a couple guys that stayed out. It looks like Evan, and we've got Trey. Do we have Evan potentially I think
We
might.
got Evan with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Evan.
How's it going,
Evan.
guys?
It's going well. We're holding down the fort. I think we've got a little bit of an explanation between you and Dylan. What happened there, Evan?
Well, I saw the guys up in front of me were driving each other into the fence, so I lifted it. I don't know if that spooked Dylan, but he obviously didn't like. I think it was a bit of a checkup. I don't know.
I just look at it as payback for Michigan.
Something like that, right?
Could there be
Did you
payback if there's
wreck?
no
What
contact?
happened?
Oh yeah, no, so basically, you kind of chopped slowly up in front and definitely checked up a bit, which spooked me, and I tried to go more to the right than I was given because the wall was right there. And
naturally,
then naturally, and I just had to use a fast repair. So
Okay.
that's kind of what happened.
Well, you'll be able to watch me get throttled by the field here, so I hope that makes you feel better.
Very much so. Very much so. But you did get a bonus point, which I could utilize.
We're trying to strategize here, because it's been an awful season for me, so I'm just trying to get points wherever I can.
Remember Danson and the Mars, how I sometimes wouldn't go into the pits, wouldn't take tires, and then I was up front during a restart?
It scared us all.
I don't think the tires are that bad here, though. It's not going to be great, but...
Oh, we're about to find out. That's what he's saying. Let's call this restart and find out what's about to happen here. Predictions on where Evan is at the end of lap 1. Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, Evan, early jump there.
Yeah.
Early jump.
Bad.
That was not bad at all. We've got, looks like Trey and Seth from the back of the pack. Trey also stayed out. A little bit of drafting here, but Evan with the start and 2 to 3 car lengths by turn 1. What a lead. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it too much because we've got Dominic Howe. That's another championship implications right there. If he can finish in the top 3, he'll be close to the points lead after this race.
Yeah. How did he get up there?
No.
So I guess one of the interesting things I guess we just missed when that yellow...
Dominic
He almost lost it.
3 wide for second. Wow.
He's losing it 4 or 5 spots here with losing that momentum there. I've been holding it nicely up front, though. He's still got a couple tenths. I think that's the biggest lead we've seen from anyone today. Nobody's been able to get away from the field, and very impressive on the old tires here.
He's doing a fantastic job. I was just going to get to Merchant on that previous yellow. Made a fantastic job of just scooting through, avoiding Dylan as he was mounting the wall, making his way out of California. And as thankfully for Seth, he's not had to use a fast repair there. So fighting the other day, did not get tires on that stop though, fuel only.
So he
they
still
still
is on the...
he squeezed it in there!
They saved it.
They saved it!
Saved it! That was Joseph Dees with
Evan is just pulling away right now. His strategy's looking pretty genius right now with the old tires.
Wow. What a save.
Trey would be... Was that? I thought that was Trey.
Trey initially saved it, and then
Trey.
Joseph on the apron. What a save.
Yes.
Wow.
Indeed.
Wow.
Trey would be Browning for sure after that sideways movement.
Nice.
We're here for the jokes. We've got a battle for the lead, guys. We've got a battle for the lead. Sam Nieto, out of nowhere, coming for the lead.
By side, down into turn number 3.
I don't think it's going to be side by side for long. That's fresh tires versus slightly less fresh tires right there, and that's an all clear. Sam Nieto to the lead.
Making the new tires eat the bottom line there. Beautiful.
And it's amazing. Seth in third. Every time it looks like he's falling back, he goes straight back up into the top 3, into the top 5. And Evan's not done yet, guys. He's using it outside. I don't know if he's going to be able to complete the pass with those older tires, but he's hanging in there. Sam goes way, way up the track. Wow, what a slide. I think if Evan a shot to come back at him.
Evan wants to show he's not just a pretty voice. He's also got a lot of talent there as well. He's looking. He doesn't want to let Sam just get away. I like it.
It is impressive, but behind those two, while they battle, we've got Dominic Howe and Seth both closing up fairly quickly with a side-by-side battle for 5th. Ross Cano and Liam Sheen at the front, though.
Fifth through 13th place are all within a second. They're under a blanket there. Quite the battle. The same battle we were seeing earlier this race. Just the leaders have disconnected from the field a little bit, and they've ran away from this battle.
Yeah, Yeah, great call, Matt. I can see here Liam's really trying to take that sheen off Cato's performance today. And looking to the inside for turn number 3.
Who signed this guy up for the jokes? Man, wow. Did you write all these down beforehand, Danson? They're very impressive.
Yes. He's going to clear him. He's going to clear him. So Liam is actually on a bit of a march here.
He is. I feel like he's been marching most of the race. I know in racing with him, he seems to be he's very good on the short runs. He's very aggressive as well. So not a huge surprise. I think this race could really fall into his wheelhouse as we've got just 3 wide behind them, forcing it down to 2 wide. Ooh, almost some contact there.
I don't like what I'm seeing, but I need to be fighting to try and get back up to that
3 wide moment. Oh, Brandon Bowie.
Wow.
He's looking to make some moves. That's a power move right there.
Yeah. Well, I think this is maybe the farthest back that Brandon Bowie's been, not only all race, but maybe all season in RSR.
I mean, is this telling us that maybe the keeping it real equipment on the Cup side is just that good at the moment? Yeah, I think, we've got to ask.
They really need to work on their IROC program, yeah.
They really do.
Except for Nick Silver. Nick Silver wins all those races, so...
Well, that is a good point.
Yeah. And still at the lead, Evan. I mean, he just will not go away. He refuses to go away. As Dominicano goes for 3rd as well, I'm really surprised Evan's being able to keep up.
Evan, look at the inside. Oh, it's got a bit tight.
Sam going up the track there. Wow. Oh, we've got Demarch, and he's around. Wow. I don't know if he hit anything there, but man, that was... Whew. And Dominic Howe, that was almost some big playoff implications there. Holy smokes.
Yeah,
we got to take a look at that. We got to look and see. Well, I think he just, maybe some contact there, guys.
There was some contact.
Well, I think the Altus Esports Dominic Howe rivalry continues. And we got another spinner back there.
Yeah, that was a sympathy spin, I think, from Tom Morano. I think that was.
And Evan got the lead back, it looks like, which is just shocking. I think everybody's taking notes right now. I think you might want to hurry up and get your last set of tires here as soon as possible. There it is. Yeah.
You guys better believe I'm not going in to the pits. After seeing Evan do so well, no way.
There's still half a race to go, Dylan.
Well, at least not now.
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll watch pit road here. I think Evan's going to get his first set of tires.
Wow. Sam Nieto. Dominic Howe, he's not claiming that caution, that's for sure.
No.
He's staying out like that.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. I think Evan's a victim of his own success here. He's the only one pitting now. Everyone sees the older tires can hang for a little bit.
Yeah, this might not be too bad of an idea, though, because he's, we had probably our longest run there, if I'm not mistaken. So he's probably not going to hurt him too bad. We'll see.
Well, we've got a couple guys here, Liam Sheena. We're halfway through this race now. I've got a couple ad reads, so that I should probably go over. So Makoni Setup Shop is your home for iRacing setups and the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports, fielding the number 46 and 90 in the Coca-Cola iRacing series of Jimmy Mullis and Zach Novak. With everything from the Legends to the Cup cars, we've got you covered. Dirt setups by World of Outlaws, Pro Driver, Evan C are available as well. So head on over to www.McConeySetupShop.com today. You can't beat the best, so don't settle for the rest. And speaking of the best, guys, I don't know about you, but I feel like there's something missing from that promo.
I was going to say, where are you? You'd one of those coaches, wouldn't you?
I would say the star driver of the McConey Setup Shop family, Nicholas Mara. Class winner. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but they're missing something from that promo. So I'll have to send Jeff a message here and get him to change that for next week. So,
guys, we've got a massive thing that we haven't quite picked up on, but he's just a quiet achiever, and it's what I was been waiting for the whole race. I'll be honest with you. Brandon has got to P6. I hope he stays there. Brandon 6, P6, car number 66.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for in a race, really? We'll see how this pans out.
I'm interested. And by the way, I guess we really should talk a little bit about because we've got the caution, and who knows how long we're going to go, the IRAPS Midway race break. We've just crossed halfway, 28 laps in the books, and right now we've got Dominic Howe Sam Nieto and Dominic Howe on the front row, leading a lot of the race. What is your takeaway bet for the first half of this race, Danson?
What's my takeaway? It's actually been a hectic race with just non-stop side-by-side action. I've been a little bit surprised that nobody's been able to get away from each other at all. Even we had Evan sort of get to the lead, and then he was very quickly chased down by Sam. Evan got that back off Sam. It's sort of just been a real back and forth kind of affair. So I guess no one's going to be able to break away. It's just going to be about who can time that last run.
With that said, Matt, who do you have pinned in the second half of this race that you're going to be watching for?
I think Sam Nieto's been fast all race. I think Liam Sheen has made some moves, and I think, I'm curious, Seth probably just used his last set of tires after that spin, but Seth has really been making that highline work. He's been really fast, so those are the three I'm watching in the second half of this race.
Awesome. Well, that was our IRAPS Midway race break. IRAPS produces high-quality custom and virtual wraps for iRacing vehicles of all kind. We want you to look good going fast, just like these cars are as we hit the restart zone. Sam Nieto with quite a jump. A couple of car lengths before we even hit the start-finish line with Dominic Howe and Brandon Bowie on the outside going into turn one.
These guys haven't been on fresh tires. They're on some older tires now, so obviously curious to see how they take off here on the restart. They're all pretty bunched up here.
Liam.
And there's some contact from Liam and Bowie.
And Brandon's going to go straight to the inside of Dominic Howe for a second. He made a little bit of contact with DeMerchant when that last caution came out. Curious to see if he has any damage there. But he's hanging in there on the outside, dancing.
Yeah, I think obviously on that start, Dominic was he asked the question, "Can I take the lead here?" And Sam said, "Yet." Oh, that's a bit of a multilingual one for you people out there.
I'm curious as to what language that is, though.
Is it Russian? I think it's Russian for no.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Guys, we got a battle for the lead here.
Yeah.
They're side by side.
Brandon Bowie. Really, we were just talking about
back in the field.
Yeah, and that's Evan. And I believe Watasi, Major. But for the lead, Brandon, we were just talking about how he was mid-pack. Didn't seem like he could get to the front. And he is loose coming off of turn 4, side by side. Dominic Howe leading on the outside.
Looks like Sean Casto.
Oh, no.
Let's take a look.
Oh, it's
Cato. Oh, man, just lost it. That's so easy to do in these. Oh, Trey Browning has had a couple of close calls today.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. Yeah, I'm really surprised, especially in the restarts, that we haven't seen more cars just getting loose, especially with the close racing.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see a big split between drivers who want to get the last set of tires right now or wait. I know there's still a good bit to go, but we're going under caution a lot right now.
Wow.
Well, that leaves the question, do you stay out? Because Evan and a few others just pitted. If a bunch of guys decide they want to make their last pit stop now after about a lap of green, those guys who pitted last stop are going to be feeling really good about their pit strategy.
I mean, that would be... I think there's only one driver in the field that could make that sort of a strategy call to come in after one lap of green. Dylan, how are we feeling?
There's a bunch of them. Oh, they're faking. I was about to say we're about to have a bunch.
Oh,
I was thinking.
I think this is the perfect time for left sides only, just to really just throw a spanner in the works there. Out amongst the pigeons.
Dylan, you've made your way back up into the top 10. If you can gain a few more spots, you're going to put yourself in a really solid position for Chicago in a few weeks for a run at the championship. How does the car feel back there? Are you kind of just playing it safe right now?
Totally playing it safe. I'll potentially put up a charge later in the run, but there's no way you can get a solid run without hurting yourself at some portion, whether it's the tires or you're giving up space down the inside. I don't like running the inside here. I think the outside is the way to go. But on the same token, There's no way you're going to get clear unless you really throw it in deep. I'm not feeling comfortable enough to do that yet. I mean, I only have 0 resets left, so this is like one chance, one shot. You know, Eminem, do not miss your chance to race.
You took my line.
Good.
Yeah, he's gonna have to cross that one off the list there.
Yeah.
Should be dancing.
Dylan, he's gonna. Yeah. There's gonna be some words had between the two of you afterwards. He had a lot of jokes prepared, and you've taken at least one of them.
I've just said something about you should be dancing. You know, BG.
I know. I like it.
Oh.
Should be dancing.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that allows me to sort of just touch on. I hope this is okay. On my Twitch, Matt Danson 30, I like to mix in dance-related puns. So just to make it a bit, because the streams themselves are not exciting at all, and lacking any interest whatsoever. But at least the I'm going live notification gets a small chuckle.
Oh,
Make sure you follow that. Thank you.
That's incredible. Wow, he had to get a plug for himself in. What a surprise. Okay, I think he's about to lose connection here. I think he got all the plugs that he needed for himself. So before I'd actually now I have to do another plug before we go green. I think we're going to see some more cautions, but our friends at SimSeats, since 2009, SimSeats has been designing and fabricating high-quality, made-in-the-USA driving simulators, including motion systems, complete turnkey iRacing packages, and custom fabrication. Their customer base includes all racers, from amateur to the pro ranks, and everyone on the SimSeats team is a weekend racer too. Their passion for racing drives them to build better sim racing equipment, so join SimSeats for the thrill of racing at any time, in any car, and on any track by visiting simseats.com to learn more. And we thank them very much, and I got chills reading that. I think that's something.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
That just
we know
relieved any nerves that I just had.
Oh yeah, I mean, a solid ad read goes a long way to curing nerves. Yeah, oof.
All right, Dylan,
I got one more.
Focus here.
Yeah.
Your championship is on the line.
Yeah, literally. Your season comes down to the last 16 laps. As we come to the green, it's night has descended as well. So wonder what that'll do to the track conditions, as looks like Brandon Bowie is going to be leading them this time. He gets a good start. I mean, wow. He really does. He really does. I will say, though, Sam's got Joseph Thies behind him. I think they could have a good run going into turn 1 and 2, but Dominic's not making it easy on him as we go into turn 1.
Dominic's in the middle of a championship battle, too, so he wants to get in there. He needs every spot to be in contention as we come out and go to Chicagoland in a few weeks. And they are side by side coming off turn 2.
And I don't think we're done hearing from. Oh, wow, Trey Browning is he has hit every single car in the field, but he's still going. I see Seth. I see Seth using that outside in 1 and 2. I don't think Seth
He's digging.
He is not done. He's going to play a factor in this race, as we're coming to 15 to go. As Brandon Bowie, Joseph Thies is looking at who he should go with. I feel like the outside's probably who you should try and draft with. He is very undecided. Seth's going to go use that outside. Oh, we got a spin. It's Thies. Woo!
I'm sorry. It is Thies, yeah.
Oh,
They're
man.
big rack. Yeah.
That's not a surprise.
Very similar colors.
Yeah, they.
Easy mistake.
You know what? It's those old eyes. It's those old eyes.
Liam.
Who was that?
Scooting through on the outside.
Who was that in the purple? Was that William Schmidt that got some damage there as well? I mean, that's a hard one. I don't know what you guys what'd you see there, Danson?
I'd love to get an onboard view if we can. If I don't know if we've got that up in the director's chair there. If we can get on board with Seth DeMerchant, because he saw that opening and he just looked like he scooted through and has basically set himself up for a really good finish, I think. Here,
Danson, are you wearing your Seth DeMerchant fan club shirt right now?
I'm wearing my Seth DeMerchant licensed underwear, actually.
Wow, interesting.
Watch this.
Hey, look.
Wow. That was nice. Yeah, that was great.
I mean, that's the kind of move you look back on when you win the race later on this evening, and you say that's the moment that changed the game. And he's up to he's in the top 5 right now. So
yeah, top 6.
That would make you very, very happy. So, does anybody pit here, guys?
Hey guys, I wanna herd the driver's booth. Should I pit or should I stay or should I go?
Oh, I mean, you're not going to lose much if you pit.
I guess that's true too, right? We have a few cars in the back that have some damage. I mean, yeah, we've had a lot of cautions, right? If we're expecting that to continue, it's only been about 2 green flag laps since Evan and a few others pitted.
I think it's going to be a caution.
They're pitting.
Whoa.
Wow, I'd stay out, Dylan. I'd stay out.
Yeah, I'd definitely stay out. Holy moly.
I thought I was going to get bonus points.
That's okay. Honestly, we saw with Evan earlier, that track position is very important, and there's not been a whole lot of green flag laps on these tires, but here comes Bowie. And honestly, it looked like they were kind of they were a little questionable on fuel potentially, because they were on the apron, a lot of these leaders on that last caution. Looked like they were trying to save some fuel. So here they come.
We had 7 cars stay out, so this is going to be really interesting. It's not easy to pass, and the tires haven't been a huge advantage, so we'll see what these guys can do.
Man, I'm very interested to see what Bowie and Sam Nieto's probably. I mean, I think you said it earlier, Matt. I think he's been the fastest car all race today. If I had to pick a car that would be the fastest, it would be his. But he's going to be coming from the back. He's going to be coming from far back, outside the top 10 potentially. And there's not going to be a lot of time to do it.
There are no more pit stops at this point. If you just stayed out here, you're not pitting. We're going green with probably, 12 laps to go. You've made your bet. You're on these tires to the end of the race.
Have I?
Absolutely.
You've made your bet, Dylan. Bet made.
Something we got to look at.
Oh, look at Dominic. Oh, he just put in the chat, the game iRacing, the simulator, didn't change his tires.
How did that happen?
I don't know. Now Evan's asking me in the private chat, how's your fuel? Evan, are you listening to me? Fuel's fine. Should be fine.
He's not in here. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to.
He's just hypothesizing.
Yeah, I'm not typing to him.
I would tell him, right?
Well, I would. I would help him. It's just I don't feel comfortable typing right now.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Brandon Six is the kind of guy that will play guitar for an emo band.
Yep.
You know what? If he finishes top 3, you're definitely going to ask him that question.
That's true.
And where his next local show will be, please.
What's his favorite chord progression?
I'm
excited.
Oh my goodness. I just noticed his number is 66.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
It'd be weird if it wasn't.
Come on, Dylan.
I feel like
I'm excited here because we've got, not only do we have Seth the Merchant up in P2, amazing job on the strategy from him, some great wreck avoidance as we've already seen, but we've also got Dylan P3 and Evan P5. So we are on for a really exciting result here if things stay as they are.
Well, a lot of fan favorites, especially for you, Danson. You sound like Jeff Gordon in the Fox booth, just with your Hendrick or with your Altus Esports love.
Yes.
So yeah,
absolutely. Exactly.
No bias there whatsoever. So
Seth just private messaged me a smiley face. Thanks, Seth.
I think that maybe he's calling a shot here for what's about to happen, and I think we're expecting big things from Seth on this restart.
Yes.
Well, we're coming down to it, guys. We've got 12 to go. Dylan, sending positive vibes for your restart. I don't know, we're supposed to be an unbiased booth, but best wishes. And Brandon's the control car, so taking the inside line as well. So he's going to have to clear. I would say he has to clear Seth by turn 1. Has been making that outside work in 1 and 2 for a good portion of the race. It's a slow restart.
Stacking up.
There's a stack up, and Brandon 6. What a restart.
And those are cars back there that just took tires that already had a disadvantage on the restart, got stacked up behind Tom Morano, who was the first one, or the last one who was on the old tires there.
Oh, Casto and Cato on the outside of Pasoko. Thies is going to make it 3 wide. He's unfazed from that accident just a few laps ago.
Pass for the lead.
Oh, yep. Seth DeMerchant.
Just had a shot. Look at 3 wide battle.
Wow, 3 wide
Seth
for
DeMerchant.
4th for the lead. I think he's going to clear him. He's
going to try to make it stick.
He's got him.
Oh, he's got him.
I think that's job.
Oh, wow. I think but here comes Brandon 6 back on the inside. Oh, Evan throwing a block on the outside. 3 wide in the pack. Side by side for the lead.
Ooh,
I'm surprised they got to the inside. I don't
need 2 cameras here. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at Seth
look at
all
Seth
the way up against the
run the
wall.
wall.
Meanwhile, on the pack, Evan with some contact. Seth is going to get a huge run off of turn 2. He doesn't get the run that I thought he was going to get there. But it's still a battle. It's still quite a battle here.
He's going to be there going in the 3, though.
He's getting there. He's getting there.
There he is to the inside. There he is to the inside. What? Crossover. He is not always loose right there. I think Brandon's going to be able to keep it on the outside here.
He's just got to stop.
Oh, no, Evan!
Evan's around. Oh! Airborne. The caution's out. Tom Morano. There's Trey Browning.
It's pretty clean.
You see Evan, the in-car. He's trying to get it righted.
Yep. Well, he's doing the big
Disappointment.
armor over arm. Don't do that on your driver's test. You'll fail that for sure.
You can see the disappointment. Look at that car. That car is definitely damaged. I don't think Evan has used a reset, but
I hope not.
oh, look at that car.
Yep,
It barely goes straight.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you get flipped around and
Amazing, this car's moving.
Evan, I don't think fuel's an issue.
7
Somebody get Evan in the chat. That car is skewed out like those Cup cars were back in like 06. I'll say that.
That's almost exactly what I said.
Off the track. Yep.
It's hard. That's a hard. Oh, Trey Browning involved. Oh man, ARCA
Nazi
brakes
major
by
there.
Bertazzi,
Yep.
yeah. Brakes optional. You hate to see that. It's amazing that car is even remotely driving, honestly. And it looks like
It's
Seth.
unfortunate.
Yeah, it looks like Seth.
That's
Seth had the lead there. Yeah,
Unfortunate there with that incident there with Casto and Evan. I guess I don't know if maybe Sean just kind of thought he was a lap car again, just kind of driving up and getting in the way. But Evan, hopefully he's got a fast repair that he can use here, get himself back in the running, and hopefully get a good result. But we've still got Dylan up in P4, which I'm very excited by.
Thank you.
We do. Yeah, Dylan, you got that. You got the outside there on this restart.
that.
I think that could be an advantage if you get a good restart. Honestly,
I wouldn't be shocked though if Seth chooses to restart from the bottom, just so he can clear going into 1 and just run away with it.
Is that what you would do, Dylan? If you were in the lead, what would you do?
If I'm in the lead, I go from the outside because it's where I'm more comfortable with.
Right. Okay.
so do you
I
think
guess
you've
we'll see
got? Yeah. Do you think you've got a chance, Dylan? Do you think you've got a chance to win this race?
I'm not going to push it. So unless there's some fisticuffs in front, or it's the final lap and I see an opening, I'm not going to push it.
I hear good points day. That phrase that I thought we eliminated with the NASCAR playoff system being used here, Dylan. So
I have memories of Jimmy Johnson, my man, Jimmy Jam, going into the final corner at Charlotte Roval and ruining his chances of advancing to the next round to try and get that win.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate.
well, Matt and I were there for that race. That was a great race. That was great for us. Sad for you. So we'll one more ad read, I promise, and we're done. Since we've only got about 8 laps to go, and I think I've heard of these.
Once we restart.
7. Okay, I've heard of these guys. Join Nick Mara, Matt Danson, and special guests every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time for a new episode of the After the Turns podcast, the official podcast of Real Sim Racing, available anytime at AfterTheTurns.com and wherever you get your podcasts. And you can hear more of Danson's fantastic puns. It's been a real highlight, I think, of tonight. You got to bring more of that. They've got a really fantastic. He was thinking about. You're thinking about that instead of driving.
Yeah.
So.
Dylan, I've got a question for you. I noticed in the background there you've got a poster. Can you tell us, tell the viewers, who won the 1995 Monaco Grand Prix?
Oh my goodness! Now you're making me go back.
He wasn't born yet. He wasn't born yet. Okay.
Born yet.
Michael Schumacher, right? Just say Michael Schumacher.
Was it Schumacher? I mean, I don't want to say Schumacher.
You've got the poster, not me.
Hold on.
It was Schumacher.
No one's coming to a pivotal championship deciding restart here. I think he's got
that was more important
about right now.
Well, don't put a poster up behind you if you're not ready to speak to it. Okay, so.
Well, that's true. Exactly.
Fair.
All
See,
right,
I'm worried about restarting from the outside with the leaders on the inside.
Well, we're coming to 7 to go. So and we see Tom Moreno in the back there with a lot of damage. up on the outside. I think he's going to let some guys go. And we've got, here comes the restart. Seth DeMerchant did take the inside line, and they're green. What a start. I mean, that leader has been getting a great start all race long, but...
The high side okay. The inside really broke apart behind Joseph there.
Yeah, Tom Morano, great guy. He was in a suboptimal position there if he was planning to let people go, because they would all get black flags. That was unfortunate. A bit of heads-up driving by the guys behind him, but Seth has just checked out. He...
Brandon 6 got a nice run off of 2. He's closing in off the backstretch.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's going to take probably a lap or so for him to catch up. So,
Cato.
Oh, man. And Coyle. The battle for 4th. Here comes. Is that Sam Nieto coming with those fresh tires? He doesn't have a lot of time left. We've got 6 laps to go. And he's got to pass 5 cars.
Boys.
We are. And for the lead, speaking of crunch time for the lead, it's 3 cars under a blanket with this battle for 4th, about 10 car lengths back. Man, Brandon 6 is getting a run. Oh, but it's stalled. Oh, man. Hit the gas too early there. Side by side for 2nd. Side by side.
They are definitely going to go side by side down into turn number 3.
That was
Joey Tice.
I don't know if he's going to clear him.
On the inside of Brandon 6. He's still got a door.
They're going to be side by side off the corner, and while doing that, still, oh man,
He is not pulling away.
No, he is not, and Joseph Thies, he's fast. He's clearing, and he's going to go for the lead with 5 laps to go. Oh, he's right there. Wow.
Oh, he's
what a run to the inside.
That's not giving him a lot of room there.
No, it's
that's going to be good for Brandon 6. Here comes Brandon 6. What does he do? Does he make it 3 wide, or does he maybe just help Seth?
Joseph made a stick there. Wow. And Dylan Coyle and group is catching up behind him, yeah?
They make it these next 4 laps. Yeah, if they make it these next 4 laps, we shall look at Joseph up the track.
I think it was it Joey who got into Seth last time?
It was. That was dominant.
That's got to be playing on Seth's mind here. He's, you know, how much can I really squeeze? You know, can I use all the space available, or do I need to be a little bit careful? They go side by side again down into turn number 1.
Dylan Coyle in the group gained 2/10 that last lap.
Joseph, he wants to clear him. He's going to, he's letting him up. Man, nice job by Seth there. That could have been a huge wreck. You would think, I'm surprised they're not getting the run off the outside here to clear. Might do it this time, though. Joseph staying there on the inside. Side by side again. And you're right, Dylan and Ross Cato, they're definitely drafting as we're going to come to 3 laps to go. Man, I'm surprised. I am surprised that Joseph has been able to keep him on the inside. 3 laps to go. And 6 is just pushing DeMerchant down the front straightaway. He's been doing it for 3 laps and can't clear him.
There it is.
Joseph's going to clear him. What a move. What a move.
I think we're going to see a bit of a crossover here.
I almost think you might. I almost
Brandon got into the wall.
Ooh.
That shows how much I know.
I mean, we're single. There goes Seth to the inside.
He's looking inside.
Gotta do something different. Gotta do something different.
We'll see if he can make it stick. Went under the white line just a little bit. He's not going to be able to hold it on the bottom.
Ooh, now what's Brandon going to do? He's going to help Seth again. 2 laps to go. He's pushing him. That's dangerous. I don't think that he's going to be able to clear him as we go into turn 1. Side by side again. Joseph's getting quite a run there on the outside.
Oh,
looks like. Ooh.
Look at that.
Here comes Brandon 6, 3 wide for the lead. 3 wide. There's no way. Joseph Thies clears. And I don't know what you do here, but the battle for 2nd can only help Joseph Thies, but there goes Seth to the outside. I think they're going to make it to the white flag.
Tice or Thies?
I think it's going to be Thies. I think it's Thies.
Thies? Thies is the correct pronunciation.
We're going to have to.
They're coming to 1 to go.
1 to go. Man, Seth getting a run down the front straightaway. I mean, 2nd and 3rd are going to have to work together at this point if they even want a shot at Joseph Thies. Down into turn 1, Seth using the inside lane. I mean, Joseph is just pulling away at this point. I don't think they're going to catch him. Seth getting loose off of turn 2 down the backstretch for the final time.
Death might have nothing for him here.
They got to work together, second and third, but I don't think it's gonna be too little, too late.
I don't think so either. The battle is going to be for second place. Seth getting a run off of turn number 4. He came in 6th in the point standings today. He keeps his championship hopes alive. Joseph Thies wins at the Auto Club Speedway.
Wow.
What a race, guys.
Yes.
What a race.
Dylan,
Brandon 6th,
4th
P3,
place.
Dylan Coyle P4.
Wow. Dylan,
Yeah.
that was a good result.
Ooh, I was driving it so carefully after that lap 20 thing. Oh my goodness.
You saved yourself there. Look at those fireworks. The virtual fireworks going off here at Auto Club Speedway. And the fans that watched, that was a good race. I think, Danson, I think all three of us were a little, questionable as far as what kind of racing we thought we would see today. But that was a heck of a race, guys.
Yeah, I had a really good line lined up for the finish of that race, but I had to take a back seat, unfortunately. But Joseph, that was an incredible finish. He's beaten, one of the best drivers out there to take that one. So he can put that in the trophy cabinet. Be very proud of it. I don't know if you'll write a thesis on that, but it was very impressive nonetheless.
You'll be able to share all of your puts with him in just a moment here, and maybe next week we can have you call the walk-ins book finish.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. For Joseph Thies today, what a race! Spun out late in this race as he does the burnouts now. He did that less than 20 to go and recovered to get the win. Man,
you can tell he's out of practice with these burnouts, but great guy, Joey. He's really nice dude. I've had the pleasure of speaking to him a few times, and doing some laps on the road courses, building his skills there. But really good guy, and it's cool to see him get the win.
It was a good race for him, and let's take a look at the standings, guys. Matt, walk us through the top 10.
Yeah, Joseph Thies, your winner for tonight's race at Auto Club Speedway. Seth DeMerchant, second place, lost the lead with just a couple laps to go, almost pulled it off. And in 6th, finishing 3rd. Championship front runner Dylan Coyle finishing 4th, and Ross Cato finishing 5th. Dominic Howe, who came in today with a 3rd place in the standings, finishes 6th. Sam Nieto in 7th. Chris Rabel 8th. Brandon Bowie 9th, and Evan Pasoko rounding out the top 10.
Trey Browning in P11. I've got it, Nick. It's all good. Liam Sheen in P12. Taking a bit of the Sheen off his qualifying performance. I'll use that one again. William Schmidt had a bit of a Schmidt run. Got it P13. Muratsi major disappointment there in P14. Tom Morano, unfortunate, had that damage that he was carrying at the end, P15. Sean Casto, I forgive my accent, P16. And Matt Mara in his customary P17 in the last 51 laps down.
He's going to be finishing there whether he was behind the mic or in the car. So I think that this ended up working out a little better for him. So
yeah.
Well, while we wait for the winner, we'll go to Brandon 6, who finished. My goodness, I think I'm going to forget where he finished.
P3.
I think he finished P3. So. Yeah. P3. So I'll let Danson. You want to take it away?
Surely I'm the P2 interviewer. This is for Matt Mara. Matt Mara.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Brandon, it's great to have you. I think Danson loved, the 6 and the 66, and you were running 6th at some point. Talk to us a little bit about your night tonight.
Honestly, it was a struggle. It very hard to pass. Got to a point where I was like, as hard as it's going to be passed, basically I took that, I think it was lap 15 caution, came down, got the fuel. It was very close to be making it, so basically every caution from there on out was just hard saving to try and make it to the end. Because I was planning on staying out the rest of the race and hopefully had decent enough tires to have a shot at the win, but was just way too tight there at the end. Couldn't really do a whole lot.
What were your thoughts there with a few laps to go? You're running there 3rd. Seth and Joseph running side by side. and you seem to have chosen Seth there, trying to push him to the win. Talk to us a little bit about what was going through your head the last couple laps.
Honestly, I knew I didn't have much. I was just trying to honestly push Seth there. Hopefully get him back out in front, because I knew he was, I think, also tight based off the way he was looking. Maybe he could hold up, I think, Joe there, and maybe I could have another shot at it again. But just could never get him pushed out there to really fight it off. So.
Well, you had an awesome run tonight. Is there anyone you want to go ahead and thank, for the run here and your time here on RaceSpotTV?
Honestly, I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, and then of course the team KIR, and then Circle B Diecast is our sponsors usually, and usually Alan Elwood for our paint schemes as well.
Awesome. Well, you had a great run tonight. Brought the excitement at the end of that race, and I know we really enjoyed watching you climb through the field a couple times and make a run at it at the end. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, and a fantastic run.
Yep, thank you guys.
That was a really solid run for Brandon. He had a shot there at the end, and top 3 finish, not bad. Anson, I think we've got the winner. If I'm right here, we got Joseph. You want to take it away?
Sure. I thought you were going to take Joey, but welcome, Joseph. That was a great run at the end there. Got around Merch. You held on the bottom really well, and then once you cleared him, I guess up in the booth we kind of thought that Seth was just going to cross you over and get another run, but you were able to hold him off. Tell us how you were feeling in those last couple laps.
Oh man, that was exciting for sure. Man, Seth just hung on my outside just so long. There was several laps I just felt him just right there. I so wanted to just clear myself, but I was like, nope, I'm not going to wreck us both. So finally I drove it in good enough, and it stuck good enough that I was able to get around him. And yeah, like you, I was like, okay, well, it's not over yet. And somehow once I got going, I was just like, just hold on to it, don't do anything stupid. And I got a little gap, and I was like, okay, just don't be stupid.
Well, you did a great job of holding on under the pressure. It looked like there was a bit of an incident mid-race. I think maybe with Seth as well. Just a bit of door-to-door contact. What was the handle like throughout the race? Obviously, we had reports it was pretty loose, but how did it go as it started to sort of transition into nighttime?
Yeah, qualifying really threw me for a loop. I thought I had a good handle on it, and the car felt different in qualifying. But yeah, throughout the race it was kind of loose. And it's like right on fresh tires it was really loose, and then after about 5 laps or so, if you could kind of hang on the bottom, people would start shoving up a little bit. It still wasn't easy to pass on the bottom, but you could start making your ground up. And I started kind of arcing, making bigger arcs and kind of hanging the bottom tighter on exits, and I started making quite a few good passes. And yeah, I got spun there, I guess, a little bit after halfway, and of course I was thinking, oh boy, this race is over now. I was actually doing good then, and I mean, here I am here. So I guess that was Liam actually that spun me, so I can't say anything bad about him now. So
well, is there anyone you want to thank, shout out for the performance tonight?
Thank you guys for doing the podcast. It's been interesting. I'll be honest, I didn't listen to it from the beginning. I've been trying to have it to catch up here soon, but I'm getting there. Thank Evan for putting this series on. This series, it just amazes me, the talent in this series and how much fun it is. Thank my teammate, Sam was out there. We were having a good time, and my other flat out teammates, Grant, Bradley, and Michael. We all enjoy running in this series, and it's been a lot of fun,
That's awesome. Well, after the admission of not listening to the podcast, I will begrudgingly congratulate you. But no, great run, Joey, and good to see you get the win tonight.
Yeah, give me some time. I'm getting there. 3 hours is a lot to go through at work.
Oh, you're telling this. Hey, we wanted to keep it at 90 minutes, so I totally feel you there. Imagine being on it and it's 1:30 in the morning. So
I was about to say, you are nowhere near 90 minutes. I hate to tell you.
This man speaks truth, so we'll give you like 3 months to catch up. But congratulations! What an awesome drive that you had late in the race. Awesome job, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks guys. Y'all take care.
Now I think we should have our P2 man coming in next, I believe, down in the. There he is. You can take this one, Nick. We'll see how this goes.
Me? Okay. All right, Seth. I thought we were going to have a little Altus on Altus interview here. You had quite the day today. Ended up with a second place finish. Seth, walk us through your day.
Yeah, just had a bad lap in qualifying. Almost pulled another Matt Danson there with a last second Q lap that would have put me P3, but it ended just before I got to the line. So we started in the back, drove through the field. We got in a little contact there with Dominic and spun out. Got back through the field again and just wasn't able to hold Joseph off there at the end. He was flying.
Yeah, I was going to say, I noticed, especially coming up through the field, you were making that outside work when really nobody else was. Were you surprised at the end of the race that you weren't able to clear Joseph? Because he hung on to your left rear quarter panel for, gosh, it felt like forever.
Yeah, I thought that he was on a bit older tires than me there, but I might have been wrong. I don't know, but I was just really tight at the end, and I think staying on his outside there for 4 or 5 laps, I might have heated up my tires, and then I just had nothing there for the last 2 laps. And Brandon was doing everything he could to try to get me up there to get us side by side. Then probably he would have tried to done something too, but I just wasn't able to do anything.
Well, you've been on a great show for us. It was really fun watching come up through the field. Danson was just he was pulling for you so hard. The bias was real. But who before we let you go, who do you have to thank?
Just all you guys for putting on the IROC series. It's cool to run. Evan let me in last second, and just all the Altus guys. You guys for doing the broadcast, and all our sponsors. That Matt has probably said over and over again during the whole broadcast. I'll let him do that if he wants, but yeah.
Actually, I should have.
No, not one time. This is usually a promo for you, Danson. So
no, he only plugged his personal Twitch stream. That's the only thing.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
that's right.
We gotta thank all the Logitech G, VRS, RaceTech, Cube Controls, Altus guys, and
Yeah, hell yes.
And there was no ad read printed out for him, so he didn't know what to say when it came to that. So thank you so much, Seth, for doing that for my almost new team, Altus Esports announcement incoming. If I say it on the broadcast, it has to be real. But thank you so. Seth, we appreciate the last second edition. You made the race. It was a good race anyway, and you made it more exciting with your multiple drives through the field. So thanks for being here tonight. When we'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.
Thanks, guys.
That race is definitely not next week, but now.
Oh my God, it's not.
We've got a in-race reporter that we can cross to. The one. No, not you,
me.
The more interesting one.
The more interesting one. The
one that we're gonna go.
Exactly. Well, Evan, tell us about your race, because you had a lot of ups and downs and different things going on. There was a bit of a grudge match at one point with Dylan.
My favorite part of the broadcast.
Your point of view.
I mean, on that one, I saw them wrecking, and I guess I just had quicker reflexes to lift, and he didn't. But I didn't think, to be honest, when you guys talked to me, I didn't think my tire strategy was that crazy. And Dylan's like, oh, I don't know. And he's saying, like, RIP Evan in driver chat. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did I just screw myself over? Because I ended up getting the bonus points for the third most laps led. So there's 2 bonus points, there's 2 spots on track that I didn't have the speed to get. So that's helpful. But then we're up there leading laps. I got lucky, and the caution after that got timed, like, right when I was side by side with the lead. But I learned then, like, the tires weren't bad. So then I just pitted at the halfway point, and I'm like, well, we're done for the race. I was about 4 laps good on fuel. We're going to be fine. And then obviously everybody else came in for their second cycle inside of like 20 to go, 15 laps to go, whatever the number was. And then we're set up for it, right? We're back into the top 5. We've got the track position we want. And then I was the unlucky guy in the run down to 1, where all 4 cars in front of me single filed out before 1, and I was the only guy that couldn't swing it wide in 2. And then I was stuck 3 wide, and for the 4th straight IROC race, I am wrecked. it happens. But I can't be mad. Lead laps, we had the speed to compete up there. Brandon Booz won, 3 of the last 5 cup races, and me and him were racing side by side. So it felt good. 3 straight top 10s in the IROC series, so I'll take it.
And you're up to 7th in the points, so you gained some spots.
Which is still the lowest of the drivers who have raced in all 5 rounds. But the first two weeks were just abysmal, finishing so far in the back, 19th and 17th, and it's just impossible to bounce back from that. But I think with the speed tonight, like, I didn't feel as out of sorts as I had in some of those other races. Like, I could race side by side with some guys. So even though, we got taken out and we think we got a top 10, right? We finished 10th.
Yeah.
Well, so even though it didn't end that great, I think there's a lot of positives headed into Chicago next week.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, it looks like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No, you go. You go, Danson. You go.
I was just gonna say. I mean, it looks like you kept your nose clean from what I can see there on the camera. So the gloves, they how much extra speed would you say they gave you?
I was told it's 15 horsepower for the gloves. So, and you got to go for the bright yellow. Like, if I'm going to commit, if I'm going to do this whole driving thing that you guys seem to enjoy doing on Mondays, I think the whole commentating thing's a lot easier. But if I'm going to do the whole driving thing, I'm going to be outfitted properly. So
they look good, and you've got that Logitech G Pro X headset, which no doubt would have been sounding great. And
we got our Logitech peripherals, we got our Logitech wheel, we've got our Logitech mouse, we've got our Logitech keyboard. We are powered by Logitech.
We love to see it. Fantastic. Was anyone you want to thank for yeah, exactly. Anyone you want to thank for this performance tonight, Evan?
Well, I just thank all the drivers for racing in the series.
You're welcome.
Thanks specifically to the Dylan Coyle. It's the cup stuff is fun on Mondays. It's super intense with the level of competition, but I enjoy doing these the IROC stuff on Mondays and the truck stuff, and all those kind of off events, because I can just go out there and have some fun. And I think that the energy was pretty good tonight. It was a tough car to drive, but I think for the most part everybody was pretty respectful. Everybody had fun. So just thanks to all the drivers for racing. And I'm going to reserve thanks to you guys before I listen. I'm going to listen back because I'm really excited to listen to this broadcast, because I listen to the podcast every week. So I'm really looking forward to watching the broadcast. So I appreciate you guys volunteering to do this tonight, and hopefully everybody tuned in and enjoyed it.
Thanks.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't think it went as bad as he thinks it went.
No, that's right.
I think it was great. I can't wait to watch it. So
yeah.
The shocker for me has been we've not once talked about the clash. That's actually somewhat disappointing.
I did bring it up during the Makoni setup shop.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
I wanted to highlight.
Okay, well, woe is me. Big thanks to IRAPS for sponsoring. I'm not a driver when I don't have the list post race. Big thanks to IRAPS for sponsoring this series and making it possible. And then also our friends at Makoni Setup Shop for providing the setups, and of course SimSeats for powering the SimSeats RealSimRacing Cup series. So none of this would be possible without a combination of all the drivers and our great sponsors. So thanks to them.
I've got the ad reads for you if you need them for future purpose, Evan. So
I wrote them. So
that solid, just craftsmanship, and I think you're going to be pretty impressed when you look over those ad reads that I did later. So
they were saucy.
What?
They were saucy.
They were saucy, weren't they? Oh my god!
Place interview.
Yeah, we got to get the fourth place interview.
Yeah, we got some points development.
Sorry,
so I'm going to get out of here, and you guys can talk to Dylan.
We will. I'll let Danson take it away. I feel like he wants to talk more and more. So
I just wanted to cross. I was gonna be like, I was gonna thank Evan for his beautiful interview, and then cross back to you, Nick, to interview our other in-race reporter who came home with a super solid P4. Almost every strategy call was wrong. He drove it up into the wall. Although he did have a P2 in quali, we got to give him credit there. But all things being equal, he came out with a P4. So Nick, take this one from you.
Okay, all right, if you say so. Dylan, you did have an interesting day. I think we really enjoyed your presence on top of the wall for those few seconds. Quite a show for us, but you had a really solid day. So, all things considered, how did you feel it went?
The wall was solid too.
Yeah. And those safer barriers cushion the blow, but they just didn't cushion it enough.
it hurt. It hurt my ego. And honestly, I probably would have tried to get maybe into a podium finish position a little harder in the last 10 laps or so if I wasn't worrying about the fact that I had no resets left from that lap 16, I believe it was, incident, which I watched the replay of, and I must say, I still am saying Evan had something to do with it. I definitely got a little spooked, but Evan had something to do with it. He had a little bit to do with it. But nonetheless, P4 is a lot better than I thought I'd have. I have the most top 10s in the series, which is kind of, I say, partially luck. Some strategy worked my way. Daytona, the yeet was great. And just now we've got a championship battle. I'm sure you have standings ready to go.
We have the standings ready to go.
Yeah, you're in second place. You're 3 points out, so it's close. And then we have Dominic Howe just 7 points out of the lead. So Nick Silver retains the lead, but it's very close going into the championship race here in a few weeks at Chicagoland Speedway.
If I had finished third, we would have been tied. But he would have the tiebreaker due to wins. So that's something to remember going in to this race. I believe it's if you
win, you win the champion.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Oh, true. Depending on how many laps he leads.
Bonus points. So it's it's going to be a big race. I'm going to have to practice a bit for Chicago. It's next week, right?
No, it's 3 weeks from now. August 16th on RaceSpotTV.
Oh my goodness!
I thought it was
Danson. Danson, we actually have an off week next week. But Danson, you offer me all these free driving sessions that never pop up. But Dylan's going for a championship, so I feel like maybe you should get him in a couple sessions and help him win a championship. No bias.
I mean, he was digging tonight. I don't know if I'd be able to teach him anything. I'd probably finish behind him in these cars.
Danson, for a fact you'd be able to teach me multiple things.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know. Chicagoland Speedway is an oval, so I'm not sure.
Oh, never mind.
Here we go.
You're right, Dylan. I'll get you in some sessions here, and we'll get you all tuned up for a few weeks and ready to go make that run. Danson's probably not worth our time. So, there we are. Oh gosh.
It's us.
Ooh, wow. Okay, well, guys, what a fun race. I think overall, I think we were a little concerned about, like we talked about earlier, what was the racing going to be like with this car. But Danson, I think we saw a hell of a show today. Your closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts, exactly what you said. I mean, it was not surprising, but it was great to see just how tight knit it was. I mean, all through the whole field, they were 2x2x2. We got to stay side by side, like an immeasurable number of times. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've almost made it our own. We just created that phrase out of nowhere. But I guess for me, it's going to be super exciting to see what happens if Dylan can close it out. I mean, obviously Nick Silver's going to be coming back, I'm sure, stronger than ever. But, Dylan has that momentum now. So can Nick hold him off, I guess, will be the big thing to watch.
Yes, I think between the great racing and your puns really made the night for me, Danson. I was super impressed the whole time. So with that said, I think Danson had some good closing thoughts. Matt, we go into the final race here at Chicago, our home track, our virtual home track of Chicago for the championship. Looking ahead a couple weeks, what are your thoughts and then your closing thoughts on tonight?
Chicagoland's an awesome track. I'm very excited to be back in the car for the next one, or at least that's my assumption. And Nick, you and I will be back in the Mara Motorsports IROC cars in 3 weeks, and very, very fun track. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully the car drives loose like it was today. I think it made the racing a lot more interesting. I hope the fans enjoyed the race, because I sure did. The racing was absolutely fantastic. I think the best we've seen in the IROC series all year. And, I think just hope more for that. The championship battle wasn't really close until now. And so I think that's going to be, like both of you have said, an extremely intriguing battle to watch, reason for everybody to watch. And those three up front I think they'll have a highlight on them the whole race to see where they're running and where they are in the standings. Who's going to pull this one off? Because it sure would be awesome to be called champion in RealSimRacing.
we look at Joseph Thies at the point standings here. What a jump for him. He went into the race over 60 or 54 points back. He comes out 20 and has a realistic shot at this championship depending on how things play out. And actually the top 6 can go ahead. Evan's the only full-time driver that can't win the championship, I guess, at this point. So depending on what happens at Chicago. So, and Matt, speak for yourself. I don't know. I think I think Danson and I are going to stay up here. I don't think they can kick us out now. So maybe give Danson a chance at the. Yeah, and they're not getting their virtual door back. I think Danson needs a chance to lead so he gets more, and I can complain about him talking next time if that's okay. So I think that's what we'll do. Yeah. So how does that sound?
We're just inviting ourselves back. I love it. Cool.
Yep.
Confirmed.
That's how we operate. I've learned that off Nick Mara. He's just invites himself places, never leaves, and that's the path to success.
Well, yeah, you do what you want. We invited ourselves here, and here we are. So, and we're gonna do this again. Except this was a shorter broadcast. This was like a half a podcast. We just be getting into the second half of our podcast. Now, it's nice to actually talk about a race while it's happening, as opposed to afterward. But is there? I guess Danson. I guess we should do the who do we need to thank. I know Matt's gonna thank all my people. So, who do you want to thank before we head out today?
I don't know if that's what we do on this, but let's do it anyway.
I don't know. We're doing
shout out to the Logitech G Ultra C Sports.
I'm Hugo now. I've decided to be director. Yeah.
Oh my lord. So Astro Gaming, Virtual Racing School, Cube Controls, Racetech Seats, Own Live, Sam Blacklock Media, Matt Danson 30 on Twitch. Check that out. I guess after the turns, around the humps, after the chicken, whatever it's called.
I like around the humps. Let's start using that.
That's awesome.
That's a really great name. That's a really great podcast name. Do you think that's been copyrighted? I feel like that's been copyrighted by some dark website that we probably can't use that website. But yeah. Anyway.
I mean, Matt's probably bought every domain that's remotely close.
Yeah, I think he has. I honestly think he has at this point. Yep.
The Humps is an attraction near Wave Rock in Australia's Golden Outback, Danson.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I worked at Outback Steakhouse for 7 years. The connection's there. Okay.
The connections are just insane.
This is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah, and obviously RaceSpot and everyone involved for having us on. Hopefully, it was somewhat entertaining. We'll get an invite back at some point in time. But that's across to Matt.
Yeah, across the mat, actually upstairs, about 15 feet away upstairs to the second floor of the Mara Motorsports studios. Your final thoughts? Who do we need to thank? I don't even know what sponsor I have anymore.
Yeah, so Makoni Setup Shop up until Michigan, and you'll be racing for SimRacing Studio. So thanks to them for sponsoring us in the Cup Series. What I really do, I want to thank Evan for making this possible, RaceSpotTV, IRAPS obviously for sponsoring the league, SimSeats for sponsoring the Cup Series, and obviously Hugo and Dylan for joining us. It's an honor to be part of the broadcast team today. Thanks to especially Hugo and Evan for dealing with some of the technical issues that made the Mara Motorsports building here at Two-Story One today. But glad everything worked out, and really appreciate everyone who's listening and all the drivers who participated today and made this a real fun show to watch.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed my personal space tonight, so maybe we'll just keep it like this going forward if we ever get the invite back. So, obviously, what Danson and what Matt said, what a fun time. This is honestly, this is I think all of our first time doing any sort of broadcasting, and I don't think we fell on our face, maybe but once or twice. So, and the great racing made it a lot easier to call as well. So. I guess with that, 3 weeks away now, Chicagoland Speedway, 3 Monday nights from now. I'm very excited to see if our own Dylan Coyle can get a championship, and we'll be crowning a championship no matter what in a few weeks. With that said, I think I could sign off now. I don't exactly know how this is going to work, so I'm going to just do it. So from Matt Mara, Matt Danson, all the way across the pond in Australia. It was a real pleasure. Hopefully, we're gonna tell ourselves we'll be back, so we will. But until next time, thank you so much for joining us for round 5 of the IROC series from California. Congratulations to Joseph Thies on a fun and deserving victory. Good night, everybody.